do we actually get our finals back, the written ones? We can see what
I have them today, so if we have time today, I will kind of go over them at the end of class.
Awesome. Thank you.
Okay. So going over them is kind of a misnomer, because you, I can't really go over them. All right. Whenever you're ready, Autumn.
It's not working, the clicker. It's the big button, right?
Should be the big button.
The remote turns red.
It's not going to work for yours. Just going to take like 10 minutes to come back. Okay. Good, that was fast.
Yeah.
Okay, usually it takes a while.
Okay, so if you've seen Disney's Inside Out, you'll know that this is fear, and it's his job to make sure that we're staying safe. So, what are you afraid of? Some of the answers that I got: spiders, death, the ocean, surfing would be me. So today I want to challenge you to reconsider what it is that you're actually afraid of and why. So I'm a bit of a self-help junkie. I've read a lot of books on the subject, follow a lot of certified personal coaches, and I've actually done a lot of work around fear. And I also know that it's something that we're never actually going to be done working on. So today I want you to consider what fear is and what you think that you're afraid of. That way you can then understand why you're holding on to it. With that, I then want you to understand why it would be really beneficial for you to actually go ahead and work through it. The massive men lead lives of quiet desperation. Henry David Thoreau. So first we need to define what fear is. Dr. Susan Jeffers states that fears are the barriers that keep us from experiencing life the way that we want to live it. So as we're stuck in our fear, we're the men that are actually leading those lives of the quiet desperation. So in her book, Feel the Fear, Dr. Jeffers lets us know that there's actually 3 different levels of fear. The first is going to be the surface story, which is what we're telling ourselves that we're aware of, what we're afraid of. If you look a little bit deeper, then you have your ego. This is who's actually keeping you safe and giving you all of those reasons that you need to actually stay afraid. And then finally would be the, I can't handle it, it's the end of the world. So agoraphobics, for example, would be in here. Luckily, that didn't happen to any of us today. So for me, one of my fears is surfing. And it has nothing to do with the ocean or the waves. It's more of the fact that I don't know how to do it. So I know that I'm gonna fall off. After we identify what our fear is, we can then go ahead and dig a little bit deeper and figure out why. So on Blackboard, 8 of you posted that the fear that you thought that you were afraid of was something completely rational. 4 of you thought that it was self-imposed. So if it really is a rational fear or self-imposed, what is holding on to that fear actually affording you? So we all hold on to fear, again, because of our ego. Dr. Brene Brown and Andrea Owen, who's one of my favorite podcasters, call it an inner critic or a gremlin. And so this is going to be the voice that's in your head that's telling you that you're not good enough, you're not strong enough, you're not smart enough, you should really just let somebody else go ahead and do that. So for me, a perfectionist, I was afraid of falling off. I didn't know how to stand up. I can't make the ocean do what it is that I think it's going to do. I know that the waves aren't the 8-foot waves or anything like pipeline. It's only going to be the 2 or 3 footers that we have here. But once we figure out why we're holding on to this, then we can go ahead and look a little bit deeper. And is this fear really keeping us safe? Or is it maybe keeping us from moving forward? So if you're to reconsider the fear that you think that you have, do you still agree that it's rational? Failing is also one of the questions that I asked. If you knew that you wouldn't fail, what would you do? Only one of you is actually okay with the idea of failing. It's extremely scary. 4 of you said that if you knew you wouldn't fail, you'd actually pursue something that's completely meaningful to you. So why do you let fear keep you from doing the things that are extremely important? So in her book, Unlimited, Jillian Michael states that understanding how you think about yourself and why you react to life the way that you do will allow you to change any behavior, knock out any mental obstacle, and create the reality that you desire. So the big news flash is that we all fail. You might recognize these people. Walt Disney in 1927 was told that Mickey Mouse would scare women that it would never take off. Bethany Hamilton, pro surfer, she actually had her arm bit off by a shark. She still paddles out most days. And then Bill Gates, now one of the richest men in the world, his very first program, he couldn't even get it to work to be able to sell it. And then you have me. I paid for surfing lessons. I learned that it's actually completely okay to fall off. Because for every 10 times that I paddle out, if I'm lucky, I'll be able to stand up once and ride that gigantic 2-foot wave for the whole 5 seconds in. And really, it's knowing that it's okay to fail is what makes that ride in that much better. So, as you can see, that spiders will always exist. We already know that we're all going to die, and we're also all going to fail at some point. But without the fear, we're really not going to be able to build courage or measure our success. So today we understood that fear has 3 levels. You have your surface story, you have your ego, and then you have the I can't handle it. We then talked about why you might be holding on to it. So if you look a little bit deeper, what is that fear affording you? What kind of excuse is your inner critic telling you? And then hopefully I gave you some really good reasons as to why you should be moving through it if you actually want to reach your dreams and accomplish the things that are actually important to you. So I want to encourage all of you when you leave the classroom, or even when you come stand up here later today or next week, to reconsider your fear. And is it really worth holding on to, or can you maybe move through that? So for a final thought, I'm not sure if you guys are familiar with Incubus, but his song Drive is extremely beneficial and a story about talking about fear. So the song begins, "Sometimes I feel the fear of uncertainty singing clear." And really, who hasn't felt that fear before? The song goes on to end, "Lately, I'm beginning to find that when I drive myself, my light is found. Whatever tomorrow brings, I'll be there." I know that I'll be there to work through my fears. How about you? Thank you.